Coming up on the Paper Talk, we'll be looking at Manchester United being linked with a couple of centre-backs, including Todibo and Branthwaite, not Braithwaite as I keep calling him. Also, Old Trafford is falling down. Tell us something we don't know. Let's get into it. Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford and the weather is, well, you can tell, it's pretty drab. So make sure you've got your parkers on. Loads of stories to get through, so we'll crack on with it. First things first, though, obviously, the takeover or the mini takeover, the part takeover or the investment, whatever you want to call it. We are expecting announcements soon. The noise was last week that it was going to be sometime during the international break, which obviously means if it is going to be during the international break, it's got to be this week. So we'll keep you updated as to when we see or hear anything, but at the minute we're just waiting. It's a bit of a waiting game, and let's have it right. We've been waiting 18 years for some sort of news regarding the ownership. We've certainly been waiting since last November, since that announcement from the Glazers about seeking strategic alternatives or whatever it was. So we know, or we think we know, that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to come in for 25% of the club, take over footballing matters. We're just waiting for the official announcement from the club. So make sure you are hitting like, share and subscribe to the channel, because as soon as that news drops, you guarantee we'll be going live with it. Anyway, let's talk about things we do know. Bruno Fernandes on target again for Portugal. They've been flying in their Euro qualifying group, and I think he's finished the campaign with 6 goals and 7 assists. He's actually got a very good record this season of chances created. I saw a graph the other day. I think he's like one of the top players for the amount of chances created. And you look at Bruno this season, you go, he's not really been firing on all cylinders. He's not been that consistent, yet he's still creating a lot of chances. I don't think it's his fault United are struggling to score goals. He's creating the chances, we're just not putting them away. So it's good to see him playing well for his country. Hopefully he can bring that form back to Manchester United when he returns. A bit of transfer news. This has been doing the rounds in several papers. I've seen it in the Manchester Evening News. It's also in the Express. And this is about United capitalising on Everton's situation in the transfer window. Everton may be forced to have a bit of a fire sale, because they're facing being sued by the relegated clubs from last season. We saw that Everton got a 10-point deduction, I think last week, because of breaking financial fair play rules. Now, lots of people looking at that going, interesting. They've been punished with a 10-point deduction. What's going to happen to Manchester City? We'll wait and see. But in terms of Everton, if they are going to get sued and if they are struggling for money, then they are going to have to sell some players. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, bro. And United are going to jump on it. It seems that we're interested in one of their players, Jared Braithwaite, the centre-back, very highly rated youngster. United looking at him already. If Everton are forced to sell, then maybe he's a player that could come to Manchester United. That's been reported in the Express and in the Manchester Evening News. Also as well, just on the centre-back front, we know, I mean, this has been going on for a little while, but Todibo from Nice is another target at centre-backs. It seems like United are prioritising centre-backs. There's a few reports in various outlets this morning that United are looking at centre-backs, and Todibo and Braithwaite could be top of that list. As always, we will keep you posted. Get involved in the comments and let me know what you think about either of those defenders. Also, just on the Everton front, and I know this sounds a little bit, I don't know, it seems a little bit harsh to go after a club when they're struggling and they've just had a 10 points reduction, but it's the nature of the beast. If there is anyone we can get from Everton, would it be Braithwaite, or would you be looking at someone else? Because Branthwaite, I keep saying Branthwaite, forgive me, Branthwaite, not Braithwaite, I don't know why I keep saying that. Would you want to see Branthwaite coming to Manchester United, or is there someone else you'd look at? A few years ago, we were linked with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, weren't we? But he's had so many injuries, I don't see that one happening. Anyway, Cameroon have given an update on Onana, Andre Onana. It's not much of an update, really, to be honest with you. He got injured against Mauritius. I think yesterday in the Gazette, I said he got injured against Libya. Forgive me. He got injured against Mauritius, and he's out of the Libya game. Well, it doesn't look like he's going to feature anyway. So, any update other than that, we'll give you one. But at the moment, it's a bit unclear as to how serious that injury is. Yes, he's going to miss a game for Cameroon, but is he going to be fit for the Everton game for Manchester United? As it stands, I couldn't really tell you. So it just says here, it's in the Evening News, it says the United goalkeeper was forced off in the latter stages of Friday's win over Mauritius. He came off after 81 minutes with an unspecified injury. Erik ten Hag will be open. He's back in time to face Everton on Sunday. Well, yeah, so not much to tell you there, but if we hear out, we'll let you know. On the goalkeeper front as well, United goalkeeper Altay Bayandeh praised after Turkey beat Germany. I saw this in Stretty News. Turkey beating Germany 3-2. Bayandeh playing for him, getting a bit of praise. We may see more of him during the AFCON if Andre Onana goes away with Cameroon to the African Cup of Nations, which it looks like he may do, then Bayern Day could end up being Manchester United's number one goalkeeper for at least, I think he can miss, I can't remember how many games, is it about 9 games he could miss? I'm not sure, but he can miss a lot. So Bayern Day could come in. Just on the goalkeeper front, and I know I keep doing this, I keep giving you updates about David De Gea, but I just find it quite interesting, the fact he's not got a club. There's another story here this morning in the Mirror saying that David Beckham, of course, is lining up David De Gea to be his next marquee signing for Inter Miami. He's been linked with a few moves, hasn't he, David De Gea? He's linked with a move to Saudi Arabia. That's obviously not happened. Now it looks like he could be linked with a move to Inter Miami. That's what the Mirror are reporting anyway. Want to keep an eye on if you still care about what happens to Spanish Dave. Also on outgoings now at Manchester United, there's a report that we've got 8 players out of contracts in the summer, and a lot of them could end up leaving. I saw this I think this is in the Mirror, and he just listed all the players that United have got on the almost out of contract, and which one of them even will end up staying, and who the manager will look to move on. If you look at the list, you've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, Sofian Amrabat, who's obviously on loan. So we're going to make that a permanent deal. You think we are? I think it's a loan with a view to a permanent deal. We'll have to wait and see, but you'd expect us to. Sergio Reguilon, a loan, obviously. I don't expect that to be a permanent deal unless he dazzles us in the next few months. Stranger things have happened. Tom Eaton, love Tom Eaton. He's out of contract though. I don't know if we'll keep him on as a third choice goalkeeper. Maybe we will. Got experience. He can do a job when he comes in. Hannibal Mejbri, young player. I'd expect us to offer him a new deal. He's not played loads of football this season, but he has featured, and he's obviously a very talented youngster. Johnny Evans, a few weeks ago I would have said no chance, but you never know. He's actually been playing quite well, and if he's playing well and he carries on playing well to the end of the season, maybe the club go, look, you can have an extension. I know that might be like, what, Jay, he'll be 36 or whatever, but if you're good enough, you're young enough. Anthony Martial, doesn't look great for Anthony Martial, but we've been saying that for about 4 years, so who knows, maybe he will end up getting his contract renewed. You just don't know with Manchester United here, but those are the players that are out of contracts in the summer, and it could be a little bit of a exodus, because quite a lot of them, you think, or at least a few of them, I'm not so sure about. I think Wan-Bissaka and Victor Lindelof will end up staying. I think they'll get new deals. Wan-Bissaka's done very well, and Victor Lindelof, I think he does a good job at centre-back. I just don't like seeing him playing right back. He's okay. Left back, he's not his position, and it shows every time he plays there. Yeah, he keeps getting put in there. Even when we've had Sergio Reguilon on the bench, we've ended up playing Victor Lindelof, and I actually feel sorry for Victor Lindelof when he's put right back, because he just looks like a complete fish out of water, and it's not his fault. You can see it's raining, and I'm getting wet. I was getting wet yesterday when I was at Old Trafford. Yes, I was at the game yesterday to watch Manchester United women. Unfortunately, lost the Manchester derby 3-1, but took the kids, and we ended up getting a little bit wet because there's leaks in the roofs. And I don't know if you've seen as well, there's some images doing the rounds on social media about bits of concrete falling down at Old Trafford as well. It seems like the stadium is crumbling. And I was right next to the City fans, and they were doing the usual chants about the stadium's falling down, Old Trafford's falling down, and all the rest of it. And whilst you don't listen to City fans because they spout drivel constantly, it is a little bit embarrassing. And we've been speaking about this for a while now, about the state of Old Trafford, about the fact you've got leaks in the roof, about the fact now you've got concrete falling down, which I'm no health and safety expert, but seems a little bit dangerous. Also the fact that the stadium is barely fit for purpose. If you want to sit down half the time, your legs are squashed. It needs more than just a lick of paint. Now, we've had this investment of around 245 million quid, I think, from Sir Jim Ratcliffe. The brunt of that is going to go to the training ground, and I get that you need a training ground that is modern, and the Carrington training facility is no longer modern. I think it's barely been touched in about 20 years, but something needs to be done about Old Trafford. I'm not just saying that because my kids got a little bit wet in the Manchester women's derby. I've been saying this for years, as I'm sure many of you have as well. It's actually embarrassing. You go to stadiums all around the country, or all around Europe, or all around the world, stadia, whatever, and you look at them, and invariably they're all better than Old Trafford in terms of the facilities, in terms of the setup, in terms of just the roof. You go there and you think, what's going on? How come when I go back to Manchester United, to Old Trafford, which is one of the most iconic stadiums in the world, it feels like it's falling apart? Something needs to be done. Now, whether that's Sir Jim's money or whether that's the money we've already got, I don't know. Some people don't want to see Old Trafford rebuilt. They want to see it revamped. I get that, but something needs to be done because it's just embarrassing and it's not fit for purpose. And we're meant to be one of the biggest clubs in the world, then we should have a stadium that suits that. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe. I've been Jay Motti outside a pretty wet Old Trafford. Thanks for watching.